when El Rufai said he was going to start a coalition, this or that, I said Obi was the target. Yeah. Because come to think of it, Atiku has nothing right now to bring onto the table. There is no real kind of like Atifu's supporters. They are cash and carry people. You get that, SPV boys. If you don't pay them, they will switch side. Just like that. The state governors who are supposed to be on his side as their presidential candidate, they are all daggered down right now. Not even those ones from northern Nigeria are on his side. No, none. So what is he bringing onto the table? What is he bringing to the table? What is El Rufai bringing to the table? But this guy said PDP should call Obi. So the chance that El Rufai and Tifnumbu are fighting, right? From what some of us kind of have gathered is that is like zero. There's no evidence that truly Tifnumbu and El Rufai, right? Like they have actually parted ways. Now, this may be a conspiracy kind of a theory, but it will make sense eventually. Because the point is, the only person who I mean, you know, there's nobody living or dead, right, in Nigeria that could pull what Obi pulled, which is obedient in a space of 18 months. 18 months, 1 year and 6 months. Not even Bokwari could pull that. Remember, Bokwari and the CPC, they have been at it since 2002. Yeah? So, this guy said that they should. So the plan then could be, let's foresee this, that this guy is not going to probably back down. But the only way we could get him curtailed and the rest of that is to see if we can put everybody in the same group, right? And then constrain them. But this guy probably disagrees. His opinion.
If I let me put it straight, the day El Rufai decides and is able to galvanize the opinion molders in the north to zero down on a P2B, for instance, as the candidate, that will be the end of the Tinubu administration.
All right. On this planned coalition, and we have heard the response from the PDP Governors Forum about this coalition. They don't want it. They say, look, come and join us. We are not joining you to win. Come and join the PDP.
That's because the PDP governors, their preferred candidate for the next election is President Bola Tinubu of the APC. Because of Southern solidarity. The bulk of the governors in the PDP are from the South. One of their own is in power. They can work against one of their own. It's not possible. In 2003, AD didn't feel the presidential candidate because of Obasanjo. That is the nature of Nigerian politics. When Adu also became president in 2007, a number of AMPP governors then moved into the PDP. So married the daughters. Two governors actually married his daughters to have a good footing in the PDP. It has always been like that. Now, talking about the coalition, it is still too early to predict what the outcome of that coalition will be. But I can give them some tips.
Okay.
You see, El Rufai has a grouse against the president, a legitimate grouse, because he worked for the president. Hate him or love him, he has something, he has a basis to be angry. And he has been working assiduously to undermine the president, particularly in the Muslim north, where he's like the Khalifa to Buhari, he's like the brain box of the Muslim north. But let me give him a tip. If he really wants to see the back of the president, let me tell you for what he will do. And I think they may be on the path to really achieving that. Let El Rufai convince the Muslim north. If he's able to do that, I know he can, he has the capacity, to look towards the south for a candidate to support. Specifically the southeast. If I let me put it straight, the day El Rufai decides and is able to galvanize the opinion molders in the north to zero down on a P2B, for instance, as the candidate, that will be the end of the Tinubu administration. If I let me put it straight.
So that is his own belief that El Rufai has these political clouds among the Muslim north. So we need to go to them and convince them that not that Peter Obi no get the capacity or the competence or the character to lead Nigeria. No, it would go and convince them about this infidel. because he was the one who gave them the idea of the Muslim ticket. And right now, the impression is that Muslim tickets don't implode, like full of regrets. So the Mumu tickets don't mumu everybody beyond redemption. So you will need to go and convince them that an infidel, maybe not infidel, we have to. You see, this is also another angle to the rotten system that has been left to succeed beyond its supposed projected lifespan. You see, when people tell you that Nigeria was supposed to break up after 100 years, or the union should have been renegotiated, this and that, Nigeria has expired, Nigeria is this or that, this is one of the reasons where, you see, you will see Nigerians, right? They admire all these, beautiful countries, beautiful systems, democracies, or whatever it is, all over the world. They admire them. I'm not saying all of you admires them, okay? But at least you do have all this idea of, they admire that. When they watch a debate, especially the American politics, where they have to see candidates speaks to issues, speaks to people's problems, and offers solutions, even if they are going to be politicians as always, all talks, no action. But their job to convince people that they are better off, they have what it takes, right? Kind of like fascinates Nigerians, because they always debate these charts, debate all these conversations online. Oh, this person, you'll be like, how come you are so vested? I mean, you're so invested in American politics, or you know nothing, or you don't give a hoot about Nigeria politics, which actually affects you because you live there. You get that now? But in Nigeria, it is about tribe, it is about ethnic and religion, of course. You have to convince people who are going through hell in the hands of those who can really protect them, those who are in the IDP camps and the rest of that. You will need to go and convince them that an infidel, a Christian is called, that's what they call anybody who is a non-Muslim, you are an infidel. An infidel should be given a chance, maybe he can protect them. And they have to feel comfortable enough. That's what that guy is saying. And then if that should happen, Tinubu's government would end before noon on the election day. He's convinced that way. It doesn't seem that the guy is factoring in the entire compromised system, institutions in Nigeria. To him, it's like, nah, all those things won't matter. Because right now, like he said also, those one from the southern part of Nigeria who are governors, PDP, supposed opposition, they have been recruited into a project of solidarity, to say, oh, in solidarity. So if anybody wants to challenge Tinubu, you will need to bring out a southerner. And if there's any southerner at all that can challenge Tinubu, is the same guy who disgraced him in Lagos. It will be Peter Obi. But guess what? This is just part of the entire scheme. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah. So the guy has been like a nightmare. He's been like in their dreams, like they dream of him, they think of him, every little thing is considered as a dangerous or as a threat to their established norm. Last week, he was in Plateau State. You've heard about the killings in Plateau State, by the way, right? Basa and Bokos, Mangu and others in Plateau State by the Fulani terrorists. Okay, so it was in Plateau State with their governor and then with the victims. And the report then was that he was going to go to Benue to go and see the people of Agatu, right? and other places where they have been displaced. The survivors, though, right? People have been killed. The survivors have been displaced, and wherever they were, he was going to visit Benue until their governor sent his own spokesperson to go and make a public statement that Obi was not wanted in Benue State. Please don't come here, right? So the Ronokus were very much happy with Alia when that happened, because according to them, Obi is making Tifnubu look bad. Tifnubu was in France when the Fulani terrorists were running amok, and this terrorism of slaughtering Nigerians in their hundreds. Without a statement from their president, by the way, because nobody knew where he was. Was he in Paris? Was he in London? Nobody was too sure. What they were only sure of was that it was in Europe, while the Fulani terrorists were slaughtering his own people, and no comment until people started, sort of like bashing them, screaming at them. That was when Badambu went to Benue. Anyway, so Obi was going to go there. So for Obi going everywhere, seeing all these things, like, is with the internally displaced people. It was with these medical students, giving them money. It was in this community, giving them water. In that community, providing healthcare and all that stuff. Is always so. All these things make Tifnubu look so bad. So if an APC governor says, "Don't come to my state to come and take pictures of those who are victims of this new terrorist group," because to them it is giving him this political leverage. And in that regard, Obi is politicizing the people's problems by sympathizing or empathizing with them. Interesting, yeah? That is Nigeria. Now, Alia went on to the TVC to give the reasons why he told Obi not to come to his state and his reasons.
That's not the right narrative. I can never politicize that. I'm the one bearing the brunt and the pains and the sorrows of the IDPs in my state. The very respected Peter Obi was a governor. And if you are coming into someone's state, there are protocols. A very high personality, you're coming into someone's state, and your party does not even know that you are coming. And the sitting governor do not know you are coming. And then you are going into where I'm protecting even most, the IDP camp. It's my duty to protect them. They have been disbalanced. And then I need to protect them even some more. So I don't know the intent you have. Is it not courteous enough just for me to know as a sitting governor, and even to provide even more security to you, and to prepare the minds of the IDPs in there that some guest is coming to visit with them?
But the gentleman said he made several attempts.
We have been getting some United Nations
He said he made several attempts to reach you.
And there is a United Nations.
But you were not reachable.
No, sir. There is a United Nations. I mean, that is not a true story. If I'm unreached, if he couldn't reach out to me, I have a chief of staff, I have an SSG, I have a PPS.
He said he reached out to your ADC, and your ADC said he hasn't seen you in 3 days.
No, that's not true. That's not the duty of the ADC either.
But you were talking about protecting the people of Benue. Mr. Governor, quickly, because some UN data is showing malnutrition in Benue IDP camps. Your critics have asked, how does limiting help align with your priestly vow to serve the poor? If according to the gentleman, that his intent is to come and reach out to your people and give to them, how do you respond to these concerns?
How would I have known that his intent was just to come and visit these people? I don't want people politicizing the IDPs. They are not there when we're suffering with them. They are not there in their own sorrows. I am. I'm there with my people. And here's a fact. There is a United Nations protocol on any visit to the IDP. What if someone gets in there and then just starts shooting them down? If you're bringing some food to them, I need to know what kind of food you're bringing to them. if I hope we're still communicating. I can't hear you.
I can hear you clearly.
Hearing me.
I can hear you clearly,
okay.
Mr. Governor.
So this is a fact. There are protocols. I mean, and we need to observe them. Because if I just let someone, you just moving from Abuja that you are going to the IDPs, do I know the intent of you visiting the IDPs? I have to know so that they know that no one is coming to attack them.
We have to go now.
Those are the kind of clowns in charge of that contraption. Yima, they see your governor. Reverend Father Alia. You see how he was struggling to trying to make a sense out of that nonsense he was spewing, right? You need to let me know. Or they try to call you, they say you are unreachable. No, that is not true. Or he reached out to your ADC and your ADC said he hasn't seen you in 3 days. Or it's not the job of my ADC to know where I am and to, you know. And he went on to now make it like, you know. So now, whatever it is, so we need to post it to Alia. And then Alia, who claimed to have suffered with the people in IDP camp, that when they were suffering with them, where were they? You know, those are the kind of uncharitable animals in charge of that contraption. People are just so unlucky, right? But there were people who actually made him governor. Yeah, there are people who made him governor. And they will do it again. And they will do it to others too, like everywhere. It is an hopeless situation, if you come to think of it. The effort of, okay, we need to rescue this contraption. You'll be like, where are you going to start from? Where? You know, from what side? Should we start from the left or the right? Front or back, or we should just start from the middle and spread it out? You have no idea. You will say, so the rest of us believe that don't try to save this contraption that is taking the lives of our own citizens. Break it up. And then you will save the lives of everyone. Easy peasy. Yeah? Now let's leave that a bit and go a little bit forward or a little bit further in our chat this evening. Where Wiki has responded to this latest development. Is it latest? No, it's not latest. Anyway, the ongoing development, okay? Because yesterday, it was reported that the sole administrator sent to Rivers State by Tifnumbu, Ibas, attended his first NEC, what do they call him, the NEC meeting, National Executive Council meeting, like an elected official in that capacity when he isn't. And he went on to meet, with the House of Representative Committee on Rivers. That's new. So, with a wiki, hang on. Then Fubara was also reported to have met with Tifnumbu. I have not seen the evidence of that, but it was in the news 2 days ago. So with a wiki was at one church service using their own altar to remind us of why there will be no peace in Rivers State except Fubara is gone. Because according to Wiki, Fubara hasn't made any move at all to see him or seek peace, kind of. Like Fubara never contacted him. Fubara never made any move. And to those who are thinking that this is being settled, blah, 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 well, it's not. You also have some words for those of you who celebrated his collapse story, you know, when the Wiki collapsed, rushed to France, maybe Spain. He has some for you too. It's all about, it's all about what's going on in the River States. So we'll start with the Wiki, and I'll give you a little bit of follow-up on that. Like the broadcast. If you haven't already, take a moment. Leave the comment section. Just a minute. No. 2 seconds. Leave the comments, go on to the video, then like it and come back. Then watch this.
1 month and 7 days after Mr. President, in his wisdom, declared a state of emergency to save Rivers State from anarchy.